Chapter 2, Globe, Latitudes and Longitudes. What is a globe? Globe is a miniature model of Earth. How our Earth is looking like? You learned in your first chapter it has a particular shape and size, particular shape that is geoid. So, the miniature model of Earth that is known as globe. An imaginary line, if you see a globe, if you observe, if you watch a globe, you will see a globe is not straight. It is a little tilted. Then we can see an imaginary line that is joining North Pole and South Pole. This imaginary line is known as axis. Remember, in real Earth, there is no line joining like this. It is our imagination. So, we call it as imaginary line. But the time when you will observe a globe, you can see, you can feel that line. You can see that globe is tilted. North Pole and South Pole. Northern side, the upper side, we call it of the globe. If you see the globe, the upper side we call it as North Pole. The down, it is as South Pole. Another imaginary line you will find that actually is dividing the Earth into two parts. This is known as equator. This line is known as equator. What is the meaning of this name equator? Equator is the line that is dividing the Earth into two equal parts. So, it is known as equator. If you see a globe, now observe the globe carefully. If you observe it carefully, you will find even on globe there is an equator. Middle of the Earth you can observe it. It is dividing the Earth into two parts. What are those two parts? The northern side of equator is known as northern hemisphere and the southern side of this. So, this entire northern part is northern hemisphere and the southern side is known as southern hemisphere. Now, check your globe and find out where India is located. You will find India is located in this position. That means India is located in the northern hemisphere. The equator is a circular line because the globe, we know the earth, the shape of the earth, that is round. So, equator is a circular line that actually is dividing the earth into two hemispheres, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. All parallel circles. Now, if you observe, observe the globe carefully again, you will find it is not only equator, but there are many other parallel circles there. In these parallel circles, they are also covering the earth and ultimately they are just like a dot in the North Pole. The same way we can find in the southern hemisphere also, and we can see in the southern hemisphere is just like a dot. This is known as the pole. Here it is North Pole and here it is South Pole. Now, why we consider equator is considered as measured as 0 degree and here North Pole is measured as 90 degree, South Pole 90 degree north and South Pole is measured as 90 degree south. Why we measure like that? Let us discuss about important parallels of latitudes. These all are known as latitudes. What are the important parallels of latitudes? Let us discuss on that. What is latitude? We are coming here now. What is a latitude? Latitude is a line. Line of latitude is a line we measured in degrees that runs from east to west, dividing the earth into two hemispheres, north and south. They are decreasing in size when they are going from equator to the pole. Middle of the earth to the pole, they are decreasing their size. What are the important parallels of latitudes? One I hope you can name easily, that is definitely equator. Equator is, these all latitudes, they are measured in degrees. So the equator is 0 degree. What is the next one we can see? In 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degrees south. Remember, 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degrees south, we imagine another two latitudes, line of latitudes. They are Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Above them, in 66.5 degree, we have another two imaginary latitude. This is actually northern circle and this is southern circle. Next we are coming to the pole, which is coming 90 degree north, that is North Pole, and this is South Pole. This one is Arctic Circle, and this one is Antarctic Circle. Let us understand a simple thing here, that why we say equator is 0 degree and why not, and then why it is going increasing the degrees and we say it is 90 degree. If this is the middle of the earth, the 360 degree we can find. If it is a straight line, so 360 degree. Now if it is middle of the earth, from here, if you measure with your compass, if your protector, you will find the degree is 0. But if you measure here, 1/4 of, if you divide 360 degree into 1/4, it will come as 90 degree. So 1/4 part of the world is covered. You can see that. So this is 90 degree. There's many more equations, calculations we will do in the higher classes, and we'll understand all these degrees very well. For now, this is the major thing you need to learn, that what are the important parallels. They are equator in 0 degree, 23.5 degree it is Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree south it is Tropic of Capricorn, then 62.5 degree north it is Arctic Circle, 62.5 degree south. So we can see that 62.5 degree it is Arctic Circle, 62.5 degree south is Antarctic Circle, then 90 degree north, which is nothing but a dot, that is North Pole, and 90 degree south, that is South Pole. They are the important latitudes. What is a latitude? That is running from east to west and dividing the earth into two hemisphere, northern and southern hemisphere. Their names we have learned. Their names are equator, the major one we have learned their name, equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle, North Pole and South Pole. Now you can ask me, are they the only one? We don't have any more? Yes, we have. Every 1 degree if you measure, there is one latitude. We imagine them like that. Remember, these all are imaginary lines. We imagine them for our own benefit. We will come there. We will discuss on why we have created them, why we have imagined them. That also we will discuss. Now, with these circles, whatever we have seen, whatever the important parallels, we also call them parallels, and they are running as parallel. They are running parallelly, so we call them parallel. So with these latitudes, we divided the earth into few heat zones. Let us discuss about heat zones now. This is the earth. We know this is equator, dividing the earth into two parts. We know this is Arctic, this is Tropic of Cancer, and this is Tropic of Capricorn. This zone is getting maximum heat from sun. You may ask me the reason why it is getting like that. Because sun is directly, the sun rays are always direct on equator. So this region is getting maximum heat from sun. This zone 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degrees south. So equator, from equator 23.5 degree north and from equator to 23.5 degrees south is known as, this zone is known as torrid zone. This zone is known as torrid zone. It is always very hot. This is the hottest zone in the world. This is known as, this entire zone is known as torrid zone. Come to the next one, which is 66.5 degree north, we know that, and 66.5 degrees south. Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. From 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north is known as temperate zone. Even this part also. So 23 degrees south to 23 degree and half degree south and 66.5 degrees south. This zone is known as temperate zone. Whatever the rest, 66 degree half. So this zone, what is the speciality of this zone? This zone is not too hot, not too cold. It is temperate, moderate. Temperature is moderate. Now, from 66 degree half to 90 degree north, that is the polar region. How it will be? It is very cold. So we call it as frigid zone. The name of this zone is frigid zone. Here also 66 degree half, 66.5 degree south to 90 degree south. This zone is known as frigid zone. So if we divide heat zones, how many heat zones are there? There are three. That one is torrid zone. Next one is temperate zone. And the third one is frigid zone. Now, let us see now clearly. Torrid zone is from 0 degree to 23.5 degree north. Then from 0 degree to 23.5 degrees south. Tell me, what is temperate zone? Temperate zone in the same way, 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north and 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south. Coming to the frigid zone we can see again 66.5 degree north to 90 degree north and 66.5 degrees south to 90 degrees south. I hope it is clear now, the heat zones of the earth. How is the temperature, climate we can find there? Torrid zone, it is very hot and humid. Next we are coming to temperate zone, they are moderate, not so hot, not so cold, and in the frigid zone it is very cold. You know, in the poles it is 6 months day and 6 months night. it is like that. So we discussed about latitudes, we learnt about heat zones. Now let us discuss about longitudes. Please pay attention because this is little difficult to understand. Like the lines of latitude, we have imagined another set of lines. They are called as longitude. Now what are they and how they are different from latitude? What we have learnt in latitude? Let us see. We have seen that in latitudes are running from east to west or west to west, and they are dividing earth into north and south. Okay, and they are the parallels. They are running parallelly. We have learnt it from latitudes. Coming to longitudes. Longitudes are running from north to south, and they also have many. They are like the latitudes, the parallels, they are also many. The only difference is their distance are changing as they are going to the poles. If you see the lines of longitude, we can see that the distance here is more than all the longitudes, they are meeting at their meeting point is the poles. Both the poles, they are meeting there. And what they are doing, they are also dividing the earth into two hemispheres. One is eastern hemisphere and the one is western hemisphere. This is the way the longitudes are dividing the earth into two hemispheres, eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. So what are the differences we find? We find the lines of latitudes, they are going from east to west or east to west, and they are dividing the earth into north and southern hemisphere. Here we find that the lines are going from north to south, and they are dividing the earth into eastern and western hemisphere. What is the next thing we can understand here? That the lines, the parallels, the distance between them are equal, always equal. But the distance between the longitude, lines of longitude, they are not equal. They are more at the equator and they join at the pole. They are the main distance. Now, how we measure this distance? Again, here also for longitudes, we are measured them in degrees. The lines of the measurement of longitude, again it is in degrees. Now, so many imaginary lines we imagine. What will be the major one, main one? For that, the geologists, they all sat together, they discussed, and then they decide the British Observatory in Greenwich, the meridian, meridian of longitude passed from there. That will be the prime meridian. And we say that we have given that the measurement of 0 degree. And the opposite side of the earth, if you see it in a ball, in a globe, you can see that the opposite side of 0 degree is measured as 180 degree. Now, we can see their distance, the poles, it is 0. We measured them also in degrees, and one meridian only we give them, we call it as prime meridian, that is running through Greenwich. So we call it as Greenwich meridian also. And we measured it as 0 degree. It is called as prime meridian. Now, let us discuss the question that why we need all these lines to discuss Earth, why we need the lines of latitude, why we need the lines of longitude. Now, suppose I am drawing Earth here like this, and I say that I am in this position. Will you be able to find me where I am exactly? You will not be able, because Earth is a round one. It is, you know, the geoid shape, right? Now, if I say that I am here where these lines are crisscrossing, then will it be easy to find out? Yes, then it will be easy. That's the reason this meridian, this latitudes and longitudes, they are actually crisscrossing the earth. It helps us to find a location. At the same time, it helps us to find the time also. Longitude is mostly related to find out the time, because they are also called as meridian, because sun is facing them only once in a daytime. In 24 hours, one meridian is facing directly to the sun only for once, and that is the 12 noon. Directly they are getting direct sun rays, because we know earth is rotating. When earth is rotating, each longitude only for once in 24 hours, they are facing the sun and they are getting direct sunlight. That's the reason it is easy to find out time using longitudes. So the entire longitude will have same time at a point of time in a day. Here also we find, I told you that every 1 degree we have a latitude. Here also every 1 degree we have a longitude, and the difference of time for 1 degree is 4 minutes. Why it is? For 1 degree difference of one longitude to another longitude, the time difference is 4 minutes. If you divide 24 hours, if you divide, then it will be, if it is 60, if you divide 24 hours, you will get that with the 24 hours with the number of latitude, you will get the distance of 1 degree, the time difference will be of 4 minutes. Now let us think of one thing. I am in prime meridian. So, and I say that my time is 12 noon. Here I am sitting in the prime meridian. I am in London observatory, and my time here is 12 noon. My friend is in 15 degree east. Suppose here 15 degree east. What will be his time? So what we learned? Time difference is for 1 degree 4 minutes. So what will be time difference for 15 degree? It will be 15 into 4 equal to 60 minutes. 60 minutes equal to 1 hour. And as I am moving to the east, east is getting sunrise first. So my friend will be 1 hour ahead of my time if I am sitting in Greenwich. Next, so if in 0 degree I say I am sitting in 0 degree and my time is 12 noon, what will be in the opposite side of the earth? 180 degree. If someone is in 180 degree, the back side, the opposite side of 0 degree, definitely it will be 12 midnight. So we can easily find out the time based on longitudes. We have a standard time. Why we need that? What is standard time? Standard time is for each and every country we follow one time only. In India, though it is a vast country, all the Indians, they follow one time. Time is different for Pakistan, time is different for Bangladesh, time is different for China, and if we are going to US, we need to adjust our clock as per their timing. Why the time difference is? Let us come to that. What is standard time? In India, if someone is staying in Arunachal Pradesh and another of his friend is in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, they will have a huge time difference because of the longitude that is passing through Arunachal Pradesh, that is the easternmost of India, and the longitude that is passing from Gujarat, that will be the westernmost of India. So we have considered in between one longitude. When we are checking it, we can see that the person who is sitting in the Arunachal Pradesh, who is getting the easternmost time, and the person who is sitting in the Ahmedabad is getting the westernmost longitude. Their time difference will be huge. In a country, if we accept time difference like that, it will be very tough to calculate time in one country. That's the reason each and every country, they accepted one standard time. That standard time is known as, for India, it is IST. Which one is IST? The meridian which is running through Allahabad, 82 and a half degree east meridian. We call it as our standard meridian and we follow the time as per that time. So maybe if you were staying somewhere which is eastern of that meridian, then your 12 noon may be before that. Or if you are staying somewhere which is crossing that meridian, the western side, then maybe you are accepting, the time you are accepting as 12 noon is not actually 12. But as Indian Standard Time, we have accepted the Allahabad time. Next we are coming to GMT. What is GMT? GMT is Greenwich Mean Time. That means the prime meridian here in Greenwich, the time it is getting its noon time when this meridian is facing the sun, that is known as GMT or Greenwich Mean Time. Now why we need GMT? We need GMT because we need to calculate world time. If I have a cricket match to watch which is playing on England or London in some particular time, say it is at 12 o'clock, I am sitting in India and my satellite, my TV, I want to watch that cricket match. I need to know the time that when the live match I can watch. For that, I need to calculate the time difference. The time difference between GMT and IST is 5 hours 30 minutes. Every country in the world, we calculated the time difference based on GMT. It is, if it is in the eastern side, then GMT plus how many hours? If it is in the western side, in that case GMT minus that many hours. That is the way we calculate. Let us recapitulate this lesson. The true shape of the earth is not exactly round. We know that it is a little squares from north and south. It is looking just like an orange. It is a geoid shape. We all know that. What is a globe? Globe is a miniature model of the earth. Our earth in a miniature model. Why we need it? We need to understand our earth very well. It is so huge. We cannot understand. We cannot go through it as a vast one. So we need to understand in a miniature model. That's why we need a globe. What is latitude and latitude value for Tropic of Cancer? How many are there? We know that there the prime is equator. Tropic of Cancer is in 23.5 degree north. Tropic of Capricorn 23.5 degree south. Then Arctic Circle 66.5 degree north. Antarctic Circle 66.5 degree south. North Pole is 90 degree. South Pole is 90. North Pole is 90 degree north and South Pole is 90 degree south. How many heat zones are there? We have learnt about them. We know that there are 3 heat zones. The heat zones are the torrid zone, then we have temperate zone, and then we have frigid zone. Temperature variation in torrid zone is the temperature is very hot and humid. Temperate zone is middle, like it is not so hot, not so cold, and the frigid zone is too cold. And in the North Pole and South Pole, North Pole and South Pole, they experience 6 months day and 6 months night. That also in the daytime they never see the midday sun. The midday sun is always at the horizon. They are not going even beyond that point. So it is very cold at that place. That is about the torrid zone. You know about the differences between latitudes and longitudes. They are known as latitudes are known as parallels because they are running parallelly east to west. At the same time, longitudes are not running parallelly. The distance is more at equator, and in both the poles they meet. They meet in both the poles, and it is dividing the earth into two hemispheres, that is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Whether the longitudes, they are dividing the earth into two hemispheres, that is eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. Why we need them? We need latitudes and longitudes to locate a place. We need longitudes mainly to find out time, to calculate time of one place. Why they are called as meridian? Because they are facing sun once in a daytime. Okay, in 24 hours, each meridian, each longitude, meridian means which is facing the sun. So, each longitude or lines of meridian, they are facing the sun in 24 hours for once only. Depending on that, we can calculate the time, we can find out the time. Why we need a prime meridian? We need a prime meridian to calculate the world time. The prime meridian, we have accepted the main meridian as 0 degree, that is the British Observatory. It is situated in Greenwich, and from there the western side is west meridian and eastern side is eastern latitude, longitude or eastern meridian. India is in eastern meridian. What is IST? IST is the standard time for India that we have accepted as, that is the meridian, that is running through Allahabad, 82.5 degree east meridian, that is accepted as the Indian standard time. What is the difference between GMT and IST? It is we are ahead of GMT 5 hours and 30 minutes. This is the chapter. I hope you have understood.